So this was only a 3-week cruise, at the end of which...
No, I was on for a year.
Ah.
I was on for a year.
There were 3-week cruises,
Yeah.
but it went on all year round.
Yeah, 3-week turnover cruises.
Do you have a break between each cruise?
Nope, you're on. You get rid of the one lot and then the next lot come on the same day.
So where did we sail out from?
We were in Limassol in Cyprus.
So the whole thing was based from Limassol?
Mm-hmm.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
So you stayed with them for a year?
Yeah, pretty much.
Doing the same shows all the time?
Yep, and then I added my own cabaret in because to break the boredom.
And you just said, I'll do it, and they said, fine, that's great.
Yeah. When do you want to do it? I'll do it tomorrow night. There you go, done.
Cabaret, singing cabaret?
Yes, yeah. I do a lot of the old crowd-pleasing classics and some more avant-garde, easy-listening tracks.
I remember you saying you actually got into it because you kicked somebody out of your...
Yeah.
Can you form relationships when you're on that kind of situation?
Very brief ones.
Yeah, that's not serious relationships.
No, I know a lot of people who have.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, they always work very well together when they're on the ship together, but as soon as they get off,
it falls apart.
You pretty much see what they're really like. You know, you don't mind making a mess of the cabin, but when you're at your own home and you're making a mess, it's a bit different.
And you get to see wherever you land, you presumably do.
Yeah, I've seen some fantastic places.
What are the ones that you remember most?
Well, I went to work for a different company. I went to work for Fred Olsen, and I just recently completed a world cruise. And then
Hang on, why did you go to Fred Olsen?
it was the same entertainment company, and they just put me somewhere else. So
Right.
do you fancy doing this? Yeah, go on.
And that meant, by the way, a whole change of shows?
Yes, pretty much. I mean, I'd learned for the second year on Calypso, because I did 2 seasons on there, I learned some shows that the same music and tracks and order were used on the Fred Olsen ships.
Yep.
But the choreography was completely different, and I'd have to be given different songs or different harmonies. So I'd just have a year run of one show and then have to learn a completely new and different for the next ship.
What about the acting? Were there acting shows on the...
Not on the Fred Olsen ships, no, which I think is really missing, because there's a lot of days at sea when you're on the Fred Olsen ships, and I think an afternoon matinee would be really, really good.
And are you still with Fred Olsen?
No, I'm not. Well, I get calls every now and again asking me to go if I'm free to do things here and there. I mean, I've gone on just to do some DJing every now and again, or hosting, whatever.
And the Fred Olsen was sailing out of where?
That was sailing out of Dover.
Oh, I see. So, and again, it was were you there within a year or 2 years or something?
Pretty much, yeah. The world cruise was about 8 months, I think.
A world cruise?
Yeah, and then I came off for a couple of weeks, and then they called me to go back on to do a Canada and America tour. So I did that, and that was great as well.
A world cruise? You can't be repeating the same thing for a world cruise for 8 months, or do you get different passengers at each stop?
No, they stay on. Some people stay on. I think some can get on at Hong Kong. We had a couple of stopover places. I think Hong Kong was one, and there was one in America, which of course was a nightmare.
But then what? You can't be doing the same shows all the time.
Yeah, they're very few and far between, and then we were given some extras to kind of put on. The singers decided to put their own show together, so we did our own show.
But you've got a limited audience. I mean, I don't know how many on the Fred Olsen. Probably what, 1,500 passengers?
Yeah, there was about 1,600 on there.
And they've all seen it after 2 months.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. But they come back. Yeah, well, I was that good, you see.
Oh, that was it, yeah.
Yeah, some of them don't come back, but some will see what is it, and they know that it's going to be repeated later on the cruise, so they won't bother rushing them all in.
Yeah. You just spread them out over
and there's lots of things happening at the same time on the ship, so you may not be able to get to see the show that night, but you'll go next time and circle it off.
And on that cruise, you stopped off at various places as you did.
Yeah, some great places.
What were the kind of good places that you remember?
Well, the first place we went to, one of the first, was Alaska, and I loved it. We had just under a week in Alaska at different ports around. Of course, I'd only ever done the Greek islands and hot places, so I packed my case with shorts and t-shirts, not knowing it was going to be minus 30. So I'm out in the 3 foot deep snow with my trainers on, jeans, and everyone else is like laughing at me, but I was all right. I got through it. Got chased by a bear in the woods. That was
really?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. We heard the noise. We seen the trees rustle. We just ran. I went down on my bum and just slid down the hill. That's where having jeans on was helpful.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a good choice then.
Yeah, very aerodynamic.
And so you like Alaska?
Loved Alaska. Then we sailed down the side of America. We went to Vancouver via Canada. Went to Vancouver, and I loved it there. It's fabulous. If you haven't been, go to Vancouver. It's a great city. Seattle. Where else did we go?
Were you on overnight stays on all these
Pretty
places?
much, yeah.
So you'd have to be pretty quick. You'd land at night. You've got your day free, probably.
Yes.
And you'd just go out and do... How would you know where to go or whatever?
Well, we did a lot of research. There was internet on board, so we did a lot of research. Right. And a lot of people who've done that kind of thing before would say, don't go there because that's where the passengers go. Go here because nobody knows it's there.
Yeah.
So we'd, put our disguises on and scurry along the streets with our hats and fake noses and try and avoid the passengers.
So you do Vancouver, down the west coast of America.
Yeah. And
San Diego, Los Angeles.
San Diego, Seattle, Los Angeles, San Francisco. God, there were so many. The only way I can remember where we've been is by looking at the back of my T-shirt, because we all got a T-shirt to say where we went, and I can never remember where we went. They all look the same. It's terrible.
Roger Phillips,
BBC Radio Merseyside.
And my guest this week is actor and entertainer Tony Blaney, talking about the cruises he's worked. I asked Tony if cruising was really as great as it sounds. For instance, was the weather always fine?
No. And people complain, if I knew the weather was going to be bad, I wouldn't have come. But, you're in the middle of the Atlantic, it's going to get a bit choppy.
Yeah.
Well, you should have warned it was going to be rough. It's November.
You didn't get seasick yourself?
No, I never got seasick, ever. I never have been. Which is very fortunate.
It is indeed.
Yeah, the first night, on our first ever night, we were all sailing out on the Calypso, and we were sailing out, and a lot of us were sea virgins, and we were I wasn't in the show that night, we were doing My Fair Lady, or a form of, so I was in the audience watching, and the guys would come on stage, do their bit and run off, and you'd hear with the microphone, and the sound guy was just taking off the microphone. And I went back in between shows, and the room was covered in vomit.
Oh, God.
I was like, everyone was green. People were just applying more foundation over the colour of their skin to come back on, deliver a song, run back off.
It was that bad?
It was hilarious.
And there was an audience there, nevertheless.
Yeah. One time I went on to sing a song. I went on to sing She, the Frank Aznavour song. Charles Aznavour song.
Great song. I love it because of Notting Hill. I love the film Notting Hill.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll sing it to you later on.
Yes.
I went on to do this, and the audience were very close on the Calypso stage, as I mentioned, and I went on, she, maybe the face I can... And you just hear the sound, and I look down just in front of me, there's these dear little old ladies with the plastic bags, and just going into the bag.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I'm trying to sing this romantic song, looking at my audience, oh, she's a beautiful lady, and so I had to take a step back a bit so I couldn't get the smell. It was
It's awful.
It was, the ship was getting thrown about. It was a flat-bottomed ship, the Calypso, and it did get picked up and thrown about quite a lot.
The Fred Olsons are bigger ships,
They are.
therefore less prone to that.
Well, you'd think so. It depends on the waves where you are.
Yeah.
The Balmoral, which is a ship that I was on, which is a very large ship. It's the largest in the Fred Olsen fleet. That does bob around quite a lot. A different kind of motion to the smaller ships.
Yeah.
But it certainly does go.
We just had the Victoria in. You presumably haven't worked on that one.
No, I haven't worked on it. I've sailed
new.
past it or been alongside it a couple of times.
And is that Cunard have
It
that?
is,
Have you done the Cunard?
No, not yet. But I am going to hopefully going to work with them in the future. Because they do a lot of plays on board.
Right. And you want to do that more perhaps than the singing?
I don't. Well, I'm kind of an all-rounder. But
Yeah.
if I could do my show and then do my own little cabaret up in a quiet lounge, that'd be great.
So do you you got this through an agent originally? You don't have an agent anymore.
No.
So but they know of you in the cruise entertainment business?
Much, they'll send me a quick email asking me availability and what I'm doing, which is why it's good I've been able to do this play, because I came back, was looking for something to do, hadn't done some acting for a while because I'd been on the Fred Olsen ships, and thought, well, I'll do a play. On the day of my birthday, I woke up and seen on the internet so-and-so looking for a male actor. Well, I'm a male actor. So I rang up, I auditioned the next day, got the job, started, finished, and that's going to go on to bigger, better things. Maybe going to get it filmed for a TV pilot. Rework it into quite a nice play.
So it's quite flexible then, in a sense that you're obviously an actor. You're obviously also a singer, maybe even a dancer now. You've probably learned to do a bit of dancing
Pretty
while
much,
you've been. And you is the cruise business where you earn your money, or how do you see yourself, as somebody who works the cruise business, or as an actor, or what?
Well, I'd like to be an actor-director, but I'd go anywhere where the money goes. I'm going to do a month in September on a ship, I don't know which one yet, which is going to go around Norway and Sweden. And I'll be lead singer with a band on there, just because they called me and said, will you do it, we need someone. I went, yeah, okay. So I like to be flexible. Obviously, if a TV company rang and offered me a job, then I'd take that.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm getting to the certain age where I do want a dishwasher or a car or something, and I haven't got them yet, so I have got to decide what I want to do, which is really sad. But
You don't really, in a way. There are people who live their whole lives doing what you're doing, which is picking and choosing as they go along, because they've got the skills and the ability and the contacts to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole idea of the cruise thing sounds really nice, although I understand when you're in the Gulf of Aden you had a bit of a problem.
Oh, that was great. It was some excitement on the World Cruise anyway, because you see the same passengers quite a lot, and you do want something exciting to happen. So we knew we were going to go through there, and out of Somalia, and we were warned that pirates were active in the area.
It is that area, isn't it?
Yeah, so we had our training, what to do in the event of an attack, and we were all kind of, yeah, right, that won't happen to us because there are cruise ships, and cruise ships don't get attacked. It's normally tankers or whatever. So we had the training. It was like, yeah, I got my certificate, I know what to do, it's all good. We know the calls if something happens. Safe haven. We knew where to go, how to deliver with the passengers, what to do.
I didn't realise that everybody on the ship has a job in that respect.
Yes, yeah, of course. We man the lifeboats and everything.
Really?
Yeah, we've got changed in our proficiency. And
so you don't just go on and do the shows?
No, you become
you're fully crew member.
Fully fledged seaman, yeah. We did our training up in Blackpool in the Fylde. Life-saving, had to jump into the water off 50 foot.
I didn't realise that at all.
Yeah, had cold water sprayed at us, wave machine, bombs going off, and fake bombs obviously, and just to give us the experience of what could happen at sea. That was a great day out. You can do it for stag nights and hen do's as well. Different night, you get in touch with Blackpool and the Fylde College and go into a safety training.
But you have to have that certificate.
You have to have it to go on.
If you're going to go on.
Yes.
And then when you're on the ships, do they then train you again
for
about that specific
ship?
Yeah.
They'll get you training for the specific ship and its layout and the specific problems, i.e. pirate attacks.
And you had been trained for this?
Yes, we did our training, and it was my night off again, so I was sat in my cabin with me face pack on, trying to get myself beautiful the next day, and it was my cabin mate's birthday, so he was in the shower getting himself ready, and I was like, wouldn't it be funny if we got attacked by pirates?
You didn't actually say that.
I did say that. I was watching X-Files on my computer, and it was a story about a sinking ship, and I thought, that'd be really funny. So I said, wouldn't it be really funny on your birthday to get attacked by pirates? He went, yeah, right. So he gets in the shower, I'm sat there with my face pack on watching the computer and the X-Files, and then over the tannoy, safe haven, this is not a drill.
This is not, they actually say this is not a drill.
This is not a drill. So, my cabin mate gets out with shampoo in his eyes, I've got my face pack on, I'm running around trying to find what to wear because the passengers can't see me in my scruff, so I was like, should I put a dinner jacket on? I don't know what to do, so I ran around, find some clothes to put on, went to our safe havens.